I'd like to talk about is that spirit of ho'okipa, of welcoming people, because that is the legacy that this institution here has embraced. It is that aloha to welcome in the manner that Abigail and James Campbell did, with all the new people who choose to come to this institution to learn. And the naming of this building is so important because it becomes the hale where students can enter into and empower themselves with enlightenment. This is the building, besides all the instruction that's going to go around, that they'll be able to read those books or see other material that will help them to grow and understand deeper information.
When Mr. Campbell purchased 41,000 acres at Honouliuli in 1877, the business community considered it a foolhardy act. The land barely supported one head of cattle on 5 acres. The Campbell's ranch at Honouliuli stood bleak and alone on the arid and unproductive land. History does record, however, that Liliuokalani enjoyed the remote hospitality of the Campbells during her pilgrimage around Oahu shortly after becoming queen. Both James and Abigail were staunch royalists who, following the overthrow, worked tirelessly against annexation and for the reinstatement of the queen. Despite public opinion, James Campbell had a vision for these lands, and in 1879, he successfully drilled the first artesian well in the islands, providing water for agriculture where it did not previously exist. Those plantation workers could not in their wildest dreams have imagined a modern city, much less an institution of higher learning, standing where boundless acres of sugarcane once grew. Those of us whose roots are here on the Ewa Plain owe a debt of gratitude to the state of Hawaii, and particularly to the University of Hawaii system, for the far-sighted action that resulted in the campus we have here today. We are confident that the James and Abigail Campbell Library will strengthen the pulse of this great new campus and of the city of Kapolei. The family of James and Abigail Campbell humbly accepts this honor on their behalf.
I've always thought that universities are something like time machines, and this room, what we're seeing on the screens here, reminds me of it. A university is a place that brings the past into the present to help create the future. And that's what this building, this room, this campus does so well. And the future they'll help create will really be worth being part of. So thank you for being here today, and on behalf of the University of Hawaii system as a whole, we appreciate the opportunity to do this. Thank you.
It's just so many people who had a part in this and a very, very important role in bringing this occasion to a reality. Naming this wonderful educational facility for James and Abigail Campbell is really an emotional moment for me, and their legacy of creating and providing a better quality of life for the people of Hawaii, and especially for those people who are blessed to reside on this side, the west side of the island of Oahu. I am moved almost to tears every day as I think of the thousands of students and their families whose lives are elevated and whose families are strengthened because of the legacy of James and Abigail Campbell. The inspiration for the naming emerged as I walked around this campus almost daily in 2015 and 2016 when Chancellor Freitas brought me in as an interim administrator on this campus. And every day I was uplifted as I saw the faces of hundreds of students and other members of the community who were benefiting from this legacy of James and Abigail Campbell and the dedication of the Campbell Family Foundation, Keola Lloyd, and the James Campbell Company, Steve Kelly and your colleagues, who continue to protect the land and who remain faithful to that better quality of life for the residents of the people on this side of the island of Oahu. And every day I felt so privileged to serve the campus as I thought of how this geographical location, which had historically been underserved in higher education, was getting closer to being properly served in higher education.
It was certainly a beautiful evening here in Ahupua'a o Honouliuli in the Moku of Ewa, the ancestral place that speaks to deep blue oceans, deep blue water on which we sit and surrounds all of us. I have to wonder, McD, I have to wonder what James Campbell thought when he looked at this beautiful place, and probably from Mauna Kapu above Makakilo. I remember when I went up there for the very first time and took a look at this place, the expanse of this Ahupua'a is enormous. The beauty of this Pai'aina is absolutely refreshing and rejuvenating. So I have to wonder what he thought when he looked at this place. And I do agree with all of you who spoke before me that I do believe that what he saw here was opportunity. I got to read a little bit about his life, and he's quite an adventurous man, had a lot of interest in he was a risk taker, he was an entrepreneur, he was an adventurer, he was an investor, he was a good soul, ending up in Lahaina and then here on the Ewa Plains. And where he saw, as you said, he saw, barren land. He grew a prosperous agricultural fields. And today, we're not growing sugarcane, but we are growing 21st century leaders. We are growing young men and women who are going to be the career creators of this place, and they'll add their abundance in a very special way to our communities here on the west side. And in this specific place, the James and Abigail Campbell Library, I can confidently report that we will live into his adventurous, visionary spirit. And Olelo no Eau, Aohe mea koe ma ku ono, which means nothing is left in the corners. And it is said of people and organizations that give graciously, that give fully, without reservations. So, on behalf of the University of Hawaii West Oahu, to the James Campbell Company, to all the Ohana members of the Campbell family, we are deeply grateful for this generous gift, this legacy that you have shared with us. You certainly will help us to make our children's dreams come true. So mahalo, mahalo, mahalo.